Hello YouTube. So we're just going to be mounting these panels. I've lifted the first one up. Just going to put in these end clamps. So with this all zone system you get some nuts, mid brackets, end brackets, a heap of bolts, and little inserts that go inside the rail. Now those inserts they are there, retain the bolts so they don't spin around, and then the whole lot slides up the rail, sits up against the solar panel, and then in this case it's the end clamp goes on, and then your nut, or your mid clamp and your nut. Pretty easy. I'll just put those two on down there, end clamps, and we'll go from there. At this point I'm just nipping up these clamps. Once I get all 3 panels up and lined up, I'll make sure that everything's straight, and it's nothing worse than having like panels crooked to each other. So I'm mounting the panels 11 centimetres from the end of the rail. These panels are about 99 centimetres wide, and I've got 3.15 metres, so I'll end up with about 60 millimetres, 70 millimetres at the top, and that 11 centimetres, 110 millimetres, whatever, at the other end, just so that when it rains the water pours off into the gutter and not over the edge. Pretty quick and easy, pretty straightforward. I'm going to lift up the other 2 panels and get them into position, do the same thing. I think you get the idea, it's not that hard. On that last panel I'll do a bit of a close-up of what I'm actually doing so you can have a better idea. So I'll come back to you in about 10 minutes. So. Okay, so 3 panels are up. I have started wiring them. Unfortunately, I have left my crimpers at home, so I can't crimp the cable that goes from there up to the isolator. So I won't be able to connect these panels today, which is a bit of a bummer. But I will show you how I'm going to secure them. So normally, because I can't really do much with the wiring, I'm going to leave them connected. Set these ones up. Next time I'm down, or if I can get some crimpers or something, I'll finish it off. Normally you'd put your mid clamps in. For obvious reasons, I'm not going to be putting other panels on at the moment, so I'm just going to put end clamps on, so I'll just show you how to do that. So you have your aluminium insert. The bolt just slides in, and the head of the bolt sits inside the actual insert so it doesn't spin. And then it's just a matter of sliding it into the rail and sliding it all the way down to the solar panel, just like that, for all of them. So I'll just do that quickly. Now, like I just said before, you'd put your mid-clamp brackets in, like there, set them up loosely, and then put your next panel in. Then once you've got your next panel in, you can tighten those ones up and then put your next two clamps on, next panel in, next two clamps on, next panel in. Next time I'm down and able to do that, I'll show you how to do that. Or by some miracle I can get some crimpers. We'll be right. So, these end clamps. Everything's very straightforward. Set them on. Set them up flush against the side of the panel. And it's just a matter of putting your nut on. This is very difficult with the camera, but anyway. Plus I'm right-handed, so also helps if you have deep sockets, as I've run out of socket. There's a bit of a cheat. Let's see if I can do it. There we go. That's it. That's your end clamps done. Very similar for your mid clamps. If you had your other solar panel, they'd be sitting nice and flush. Make sure that that bolt is sitting central between the panels. On a bit of an angle can actually crack these brackets if it's not square. And then it's just a matter of tightening it up. So, I'll put those other three brackets, end clamps on. And then there's not really that much more I can do. Like I said, I haven't got my crimpers, so I can't make up the interconnecting cable to go from that plug to over here to the isolator. And I can't put any plugs on my isolator cable. So we'll see how we go anyway. I just prefer to have the plugs on the isolators. If you happen to break a panel, it's just unclip, change the panel out, clip it all back in together. You don't have to worry about trying to use connectors and sealing things up and all the rest of it. It's all done properly, it's all weatherproof. But anyway, there's another 900 watts of panels. Unfortunately not connected. Anyway, we'll see how we go. We might better pull a rabbit out of a hat. And if we can, I'll get back to you. I'll call that the end of this video. Just one thing is, when you're setting up your first row of panels, make sure that you set your distance on that corner properly and tighten that clamp, but leave all the other clamps along there loose until you butt your next panel up to that panel so that the edges are flush. And that's what I mean by flush, and that they're both pressed together properly. There's no, they're not sitting askew or anything like that. And then once that panel's there, you can tighten up those two. And the same for your last panel, or however many panels you got. Make sure your panels are all butted up nicely, sitting square and flush. Then tighten up your last two brackets. When you're doing like a whole roof like this, you do one and you got a bit of a gap, it just ends up looking a bit how you doing. May take an extra couple of minutes, but at the end of the day it's a much neater installation. Alright YouTube, thanks for watching. Keep your fingers crossed and I might be able to get this finished. Alright, see you later. Hello YouTube, how you going? Well, we found some crimpers. So, one last panel to move. I'm just about to move it now. So you can, there it is there. The only problem is the cable that's required to go from these 9 panels to the solar charge controller inside, I left home. So, rock and a hard place now. That's alright, we'll sort something out. Bit more news is that I'm getting solar, grid connected solar put on the house tomorrow. I might be able to barter with the installer to get enough cable to hook up this 9 panels up to the solar charge controller. I only need about 10 metres of cable and it's job done. So anyway, I'll just move this other panel over. Righto. Nine 300-watt panels. Wide in series, 1, 2, 3 in series, these 3 in series, and those 3 in series, giving me approximately 115 volts open circuit. This morning, when the panels were quite cool, I've measured 120.9, and it started, that's as high as it got. They started to drop after that because the panels heated up. As you can see, it's a cool day, but no clouds, so the sun's sort of a bit ferocious. So all up, we've got 2700 watts, and the time is 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and you can see that all 3 strings are now affected by that branch right there. So that tree will be trimmed, and that'll give me another good couple of hours before the rest of those trees start to shade. Alright YouTube, I'll leave it at that for now. When I get the cable to do the connections, I'll do a bit of a video about how I've mounted these isolator boxes on the panels and interconnected them. Sort of gone a bit along the way of future-proofing, but I'll explain that later. All this other racking here I've got to take off the roof. It's that easy rack, it's rubbish, won't be using that again. I do have another shed with a flat roof. I might try those L brackets on the flat roof and see how it goes, and if it seems to be okay on the flat roof, then I'll use this easy racking stuff, get some second-hand panels and put some more panels on a different roof at a different time. But that's pretty much it for now. As you can see down the sides, everything's nice and straight. Once the second lot of panels are in, I'll have just enough room to creep along the hip of the roof and be able to walk down the side very carefully. And the front's got access via the ladder if I need to get up and clean the gutters or whatever, which they need to clean. And that's pretty much it. If there's anything specific that you want me to try and cover on the next lot of videos or whatever, just let us know, and I'll try and yeah, pay more attention to those requests. And there's no point me rabbiting on about stuff if no one's getting the benefit out of it. I might as well be trying to describe stuff that people are interested in or want to see done differently to what they've done themselves. Another side effect of having all this roof shaded, and there's a decent gap there for ventilation. It's 120 millimeters, not including the ribs of the corrugation, so that'll help keep the shed a bit cooler too in summer. Alright YouTube, hopefully that's been beneficial to some of you. Like I said, if there's something specific that you want me to pay attention to on the next lot of videos or whatever, just let us know in the comments. And until next time, I'll catch you later.